You've just tuned in to the greatest podcast in the world right now, today, this second. It's And the Wife with Anastasia.
Wasn't he there for it? No, he was asleep. Like he's always asleep.
He probably still heard it.
Apparently he didn't because he got. So there was a cat that didn't have a tail. He's up for adoption.
He was very cute.
He was, according to my mother and sister and Zoe, he was a very cute cat. This is like a regular old cat to me.
He was really shiny.
He was shiny.
A shiny
he
cat.
was dressed up for Christmas and he was wearing like Santa Claus panties.
What?
And a black bow tie.
And a black bow tie around his neck. I was like, he looks like a stripper because he was wearing, it wasn't
cat
pants.
looks like a stripper?
Yeah, because he was wearing panties. He was wearing like just red panties, not pants.
Well, he can't wear pants. He's a cat.
And he had fur.
Where's this going?
White fur around the leg part.
And the waistband.
And the waistband. And he had a black bow tie just around. And so he's a naked cat with just panties and a tie on.
Well, if he has panties on, he's not naked.
He's dressed as a stripper. And Zoe said something about how, he doesn't have a tail. But they never said anything about the fact I think they didn't want you to pay attention to the fact he didn't have a tail. Who was it?
Not me.
I guess it was Zoe. Sophie, the other one.
Zoe, the other
Sophie.
one. Sophie.
One of your many kids.
One of the many children. And so then Allie said, oh gosh, what did she say? See that?
That's why I had to write it down.
That's why I had to write it down because it was so funny to me. And I can't remember stuff. And Allie says that he's wearing those panties to hide his shame.
What kind of shame?
Yeah.
He was missing a tail. And he was hiding his shame.
He's not proud of that part of his life when he lost his tail. That was rock bottom for him.
What? And then I said he's dressed like a stripper. And then Allie said, if you throw money at him, he'll take those panties off.
Oh Lord.
Zoe. Okay, so I was talking about
When you get all serious, you're like, okay, so.
Am I being serious?
Or like when you...
Every time she says, okay, so take a drink. That's the
Uh-oh,
challenge.
We're going to get real drunk. 'Cause apparently I say okay so a lot. So when you're in public and someone sneezes, do you say, God bless you?
Yes.
To strangers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just like I did with Frank just now.
He's not a stranger, you know him.
But I'm saying just like how he was about to sneeze and I saw it, I said it like simultaneously as he was sneezing. I would do that in public too.
Well, I kind of don't say it to him because he never says thank you. So I'm like,
that would
if you're not gonna say thank you,
definitely
you, Frank.
discourage me from saying it to an individual.
Yeah.
But a stranger, they don't have that negative rapport with you. So
Well, you got to think about it this way. That's just a common thing that people say a lot without thinking about the fact that they don't believe in God. So
you don't believe in God?
No. So
Is
when
that
someone
serious?
says, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So when someone says bless you to me, what am I supposed to say? Like,
Thank
Still say thank you.
You
just
just
say
like
thank
if someone
you.
says excuse me or pardon me,
And
or
you're supposed to say, oh, sorry, I was in your way.
or they say thank you or you're welcome. It's
Yeah.
just like stuff people say that's just like polite.
no, it's
even-
my way of telling them that it's okay to not to say it to
Not
me
if
again.
you just it's someone you don't know, just randomly.
Or
in a store
you
or
could, if
something.
you're really that bothered by it, you could just say, hey, please don't say bless you to me.
No, I'm not rude.
That's,
It's rude, not
equally
rude to not
rude.
say anything.
Oh my god.
Hold up. You don't believe in God, so what do you believe in?
I don't believe in God.
In
I don't believe
anything?
No, nothing.
You know this wine. The more you drink it, the more it tastes good.
It's garbage.
It's definitely
Yeah,
garbage.
but the more if you keep, like you keep at it, your tongue's like, okay, if this is what we're doing.
It's an acquired taste.
Yeah, it's
Well, I haven't acquired it yet, and I've been sitting on it quite some time.
I didn't get to answer the question.
I think it's a Syrah.
I don't say bless you because I don't know those people.
Okay, so you don't just because you don't know.
But if it was one of us, you would say bless you.
Yeah.
So Frank, what do you prefer?
Would you say God bless you?
No, I never say God bless you. I always just say bless you.
Just don't say anything because I say excuse
Don't say
me.
anything.
Yeah, I say excuse me.
That sounds so rude.
Yeah, it's just
Well, or people could just sneeze and have it not be a non-issue.
Yeah,
you
it's,
know,
it's just a thing that people do. Like when someone farts, do you say bless you? It's just a noise that comes out of your.
it's involuntary. It's completely involuntary.
the reason why people would say it is because your heart supposedly stops when you sneeze.
No evidence of that.
So you might just
I
die
think there is evidence of
out of
that.
a sneeze.
No, the
you
reason
might
die
not
of
make
the
it.
sneeze.
the reason why people say bless you is to say bless you so the demons don't come into you.
Isn't
not.
wait,
I've never heard that before.
Isn't it the
Frank,
sneeze
no.
is expelling
No.
bad energy or
No,
bad
none of those
spirits?
things are true. No.
I guess Anna is the end all be all.
Anna doesn't know
When she
anything.
says no, that's just it.
That's the end.
Anna has put
it's
her foot
over,
down.
and my foot is planted on the ground.
This is multiple origins. I didn't make this up because I read it before in history.
You didn't read about sneezes in history.
Yes, I did.
Don't even front, yo.
Okay.
But okay. This is where it comes from.
Gather
Yeah.
around kindergarten class.
Yeah.
Kindergarten class. So part of it is people say God bless you, so your soul doesn't leave your body,
Okay.
and the other
I've
one
heard
is,
that one.
And the other one is to shield against evil.
Never heard that.
I didn't
So are
make this
you-
up. This
Okay,
is on
what
Wikipedia.
about the
It's on
heart
the
stopping?
It's on
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
If it's on
Are you
Wikipedia,
serious?
some other numbskull that came up with that crap.
Yeah,
It's not real.
I made it up. But
And
yet,
he
I
entered it
just
on the
found
Wikipedia page.
He
in
made
my
this
first
page
search.
before we talked about
Frank
things.
Yeah.
definitely made that on Wikipedia.
If
Wait,
we go-
so do they say bless you because you're most vulnerable when you're sneezing?
Yes, exactly.
You're vulnerable.
You're most vulnerable.
Your guard's down.
One theory
about when you're
is to
sleeping?
keep your soul inside your body. The other theory is to shield against
So
evil
you're saying
entering
you don't
your
want
body.
anybody stopping your soul from escaping your body or evil to get in?
You would have to believe all that shit exists.
I'm fine with letting my soul wander if it comes back to me.
As long as it comes
Go
back.
on a little
I'm fine.
adventure.
Hey, what'd you do while you were out?
I mean, it's
Old
kind of like
soully buddy.
it's kind of like Pat's cat. You know,
Old pal.
Pat let his cat wander around
Yeah.
outside. And, the cat comes back when it's ready.
True. But then you can't get inside of stores or anything. Because if you don't have a soul, those automatic doors, they don't open for you. Everybody.
Well, no, my soul can leave me when I'm at home.
Okay.
It's come back
As
when I'm
long as
ready to
you're
leave.
chilling on the sofa,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
fine.
When I'm ready to come back, I page him.
Page is your soul from the 90s?
Need you back ASAP.
Yeah. The soul
I'm
only
gonna
carries a
page you.
page.
My soul's from the 80s.
I'm gonna page you 811. It's not quite an emergency. Just come back soon.
His show's about to go off. I do plan on leaving once it goes off.
I gotta hit Ralph's in a little bit. And I won't be able to get in.
My aunt told me the automatic doors won't work without you.
You guys ever see the videos of that guy? Where
No.
he's pretending to be. This doesn't apply to you, Anna.
What is it?
It's the one where the guy is pretending to talk on the phone, and he has he's at the grocery store and he has stuff in his arms, and he reaches across short people and he drags the stuff across their faces and body.
I have not
And
seen
then,
that, but that
and then,
sounds
walks
hilarious.
away.
That sounds hilarious.
It is so rude and hilarious. I'm
Rude and
dying the whole-
hilarious.
And the people just look at him like, "What the hell is going on?" He hits him in the face with a loaf of bread.
No.
No,
Oh,
that's not
dude.
funny.
No, it's
I don't
not
like
funny.
that.
It sounds like somebody
sounds
wants to get.
funny.
It sounds
No.
like somebody wants
Unless
to
it's
get
done to you.
hurt by someone else.
No,
Yeah.
Like he's looking
gotten
for.
slapped.
He's cruising for a bruising.
He's gotten slapped before.
He deserves it.
He's purposely cruising for a bruising.
Well, he's a tall person. He's sizable.
Look,
So
if he
he's-
got me on the wrong day when I had a lot of shit to do, and he's like, "Oh, I think this is funny," dude. No, I'm just
think-
mad about it right now. I'm so mad.
I think he's probably done it enough where he targets people he's going to get a specific reaction from.
Yeah, probably so.
Like if he sees
The reaction of
if he sees a black mother with her kid, he knows he's going to get slapped in the face.
It's a fair assumption.
If he
Yeah,
sees some
probably.
old white dude standing there in a pair of New Balance sneakers,
He might get shot.
he's just gonna get a
He might get shot. This is true.
he's gonna get a look.
You know what? You're right, Zoe, but I'll take my chances on that guy too.
Has he ever been in Northern California?
Maybe.
So I have one more thing I want to talk about because it's getting late. So you have any? So when I was a young Anna, I used to really like. I really liked hot dogs a lot, and one time I ate a hot dog and I got super sick. And then I didn't eat hot dogs again. I was a little kid. I didn't eat hot dogs again until I was in high school. So I was like 6 or 7. Didn't eat them again until I was like 17 or 18. Right. And the only reason I started eating them is because Frank liked to go to the movies while we were dating. And he always had to have snacks at the movies. And I don't like popcorn. I won't eat it because it gets stuck in your teeth. And so I started eating snacks with him. And I couldn't just eat candy all the time. I started to eat real food. I decided to try a hot dog. And now I like hot dogs again. So have you ever eaten a food that you stopped eating because you were traumatized by the food?
No, not traumatized. Just lost taste for it. Like similar to what you're talking about. I used to love popcorn when I was in elementary, and then for whatever reason, it just doesn't taste good to me anymore.
You just can't eat it.
Just
No, you didn't get sick or anything. You just
I didn't
like,
get sick.
no.
It just like it literally does not taste good to me anymore.
I feel like that, like cheesecake. I did that. I screwed myself up. I had a cheesecake. I love cheesecake, and I used to make it every year for holidays. And then for my birthday, I asked for a cheesecake from Cheesecake Factory, and they're pretty big, a whole one. And Frank doesn't really eat sweets, and all the girls were little, and so
I eat plenty.
they ate like half of pieces, and
She's a lot of
so
credit.
like 4 half pieces were eaten, and that's about it. And the rest of the cheesecake, I was like, oh yeah, I get the whole thing myself. And so I ate all of it over a couple of days. And then I hated cheesecake after that. I never want to eat another cheesecake, and I haven't. It's been like 10 years.
Oh damn.
Yeah, because I like burned myself out on cheesecake and one at once.
Let me tell
One
you.
cheesecake bender.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, when mom makes me apple pie, I definitely will eat the whole thing by myself gladly.
You don't share with anybody? You don't give any to your kids?
No,
You just sit there in front of them like, oh, this pie's so good.
no.
They watch you, a little tear rolls down.
I don't even know what apple pie tastes like.
Brian actually likes it. The baby, he doesn't care for pie yet, and Maya, she may want a bite here and there, but that bite's not gonna. I'm not gonna lose anything off of that one little bite.
little kid bite.
I bet you when Sebastian gets a little bigger, he's going to be like, I want that pie.
It's gonna suck for him.
That little dude's gonna be bigger than you.
He
Yeah.
probably is.
He's
Brian's gonna be bigger than me. That dude is like.
No, I mean like bigger, like bruiser. Like he's gonna snatch that apple pie out your hand when you bring it in the house.
no,
He's
he
like,
know,
what
My
you-
pie, bitch.
What you got on my
Dang.
pie?
no, he gonna know what time it is. I don't play that. I don't play that.
Zoe, have you been traumatized by food? There's a lot of stuff you don't eat, so probably.
Well, I don't eat a whole category of food,
Yeah.
but
I'm a vegetarian, guys.
you already mentioned that. I don't have to repeat it. But
My name is Zoe.
when I was little, I choked on a lifesaver. Remember that?
No.
Well, I do, and
Well, I do.
well, you had to get it out of me
Uh-huh.
because you're my mother.
Yeah.
In case you didn't.
I was
know.
always getting stuff out of kids, so it's a lot of times
And
things
so
are stuck inside of kids.
I have never had another lifesaver because I'm afraid I'm going to choke again.
Gosh.
And you're not around to save me. So,
Oh, poor baby.
and sometimes people will offer me one, and
No,
Oh no, thank you.
like no.
I
And
might die. My mother's not here.
when I mentioned the choking, they say, "Well, it has a hole in the middle on purpose so you don't choke." Like, it is false advertisement.
I don't think that's why the hole is there, but okay. And there are lifesavers that don't have the hole.
Do
in the
they
middle.
still make lifesavers? I
Yeah,
didn't even think
people.
this anymore.
I am still offered lifesavers on
I
occasion.
haven't seen a lifesaver in forever. But
They're
okay.
not popular as they used to
No.
be.
So Frank, have you been traumatized by a food item?
Well, not
Or stop eating
traumatized,
things.
but I don't eat bagels because they're played out.
They're played out. They're just.
I
they're
never
just
understood what
old
bagels are for. Like,
news.
why would I have a bagel if I can have a donut?
Exactly, but bagels suck.
I love bagels.
Yeah.
And I don't get the whole cream cheese thing on
Me,
bagel.
yeah.
I don't want to eat just cold cream
So
cheese.
good. Warm it up.
No, I don't think it tastes good by itself.
You can get flavored cream cheeses. There's lots
Yeah.
of flavors.
To
There's
say the name of
savory
that
flavors. There's sweet flavors.
But there's some good bagels out there. But when I was in high school,
We used to eat them all the time.
there was a bagel shop down the street that everybody used to go to
All
all
the
the
time.
time. And the bagels were really good.
Cheese bagels with melted cheese on top. And
Yeah,
now
so-
it's my favorite when you eat
Ooh,
them.
Yeah,
that
that
sounds
So
one
you
was
used to
really
eat
good.
them.
Yeah,
With no cream
and
cheese,
They
just
had this
melted
like
cheese.
strawberry bagel that was really good. I used to eat them all the time, but like there was a point where I was just like, I don't know if I just woke up one day and was like, I'm done with this shit.
Bro, that's how it was with me with popcorn and
Yeah.
Cheetos.
Cheetos, you can't eat another
It's just
Cheeto.
Cheetos are amazing.
They used to be amazing to me, and now they just don't taste good. It's crazy.
Just one day like that taste bud just fell out of your mouth.
I am bamboozled. I promise you. Like, I used to love Cheetos and cheese popcorn. So you used to love bagels. What happened?
I don't know. Just one day,
That taste bud fell out of his mouth.
Same
just-
thing, huh?
Just stopped in one day, and I'm like, anytime someone brings in bagels like to the office,
He throws them across the room.
I'm like, oh, you got anything else?
Puts the box directly in the trash.
Yeah,
Trash.
I'm like, nah, I'm not down with that. Because
I'm not down with that.
it's just probably the texture, like, because it's so thick. Like,
I'm
it's
big
dense.
on texture too. While
It's
you laughing,
dense.
I'm really big on texture.
Yeah, it is really dense.
And
That's why I like them, because
just
they're thick
one
and dense.
day, in high school, I stopped eating them in high school. It was probably right after graduation.
Well, you weren't in high school anymore, yo.
Well, it's not like I didn't know that I could get them in other places
Uh-huh.
because that place still existed, and I
Yeah.
still lived in Los Angeles, and there was more than one bagel place in the world.
Maybe you just like those bagels and you didn't want any other bagel.
No,
You
I mean,
ruined for bagels.
every now and then after that, I would try one, and it would be like, nah, like I take a bite and be like, "Pah,"
Puh.
right in the trash.
Okay, here's my. I actually have a last thing. Do you think marriage is dead as a construct? Like people marrying for life. Do you think that's a thing anymore?
People, what do you mean? People marrying for life?
Like you get married until death do you part. Do you think
Yeah.
that's a thing?
Of course.
You do?
Yeah.
Do you think you will do it one day, even though you have not?
I mean, I hope so.
But your plan is to
You
ultimately
want to get married.
Yes.
marry someone and be with them for the rest of
Yeah.
eternity.
I want to make sure I get it right the first time.
Okay. So you were trying out chicks until you find the right one.
Try.
I mean,
gonna-
not,
Who's gonna be
I don't like the way
the
that
forever,
sounded.
forever lady?
I mean, I don't like the way that sounded, but essentially that, I guess you would have to put it that way. It just sounds really harsh the way you said it.
Okay,
But
sorry.
I mean, you just
Do you think marriage is dead as the idea of what your parents thought it was?
I think marriage for life is a real thing and people want to do it, and I
Oh.
agree with that.
Even people in your age group, because he's a little older, and I think people in his age group still have that. They're still like they can go either way, but I think people in your age group tend to lean towards not marriage so much, more like partnerships.
Yeah, and I agree with that, and I think partnerships for a while and then maybe getting married later on. Because people used to get married more when they were younger.
Yeah,
And I feel like at this point, I think that people aren't really ready to make that kind of life decision when they're really young, like in their 20s. So if I were to get married again, I would want to do it a lot later.
that's interesting. So, do you think people in your age group, though, other people that you know, do they want to get married and have children?
Yes, and I think the idea of getting married forever is something that a lot of us have ingrained in our heads.
As still
And
a thing,
that-
societal.
Yes, and that causes people to get married when they're not ready to do it. And then people in my age group, millennials, for example,
Yeah.
they care more about quality of life than the age group before us.
Oh,
So
you
they
think-
they
and
care more about personal happiness, I think.
You don't think people in your parents' age group care about the quality of their lives?
No, I think they
you
do,
don't think
but
I
they
care about the quality of
Nah,
my life.
I think
I
it's
prob-
it's levels. Like, you know, boomers, they were like, well, this is what I have to do. This is what I'm going to do because I have to do it. And you are stressed out for your entire life, and then you die. But I think millennials are like, well, you know what? Maybe life should be good.
Well, you know, you can't have both.
I think I'm here a lot of, because I listen to a ton of podcasts and a lot with younger folks. They're closer to your age group. And then I know kids close to your age group that seem to not be as interested in having children. Number one, I think a lot of kids don't want to have kids anymore.
In my case, I very much want to have children.
You want them, but I think that's odd, actually.
You think that's odd?
Yeah, there's a lot that don't seem to want to have them.
Yeah, in my age group, I think it's odd.
And then it's a lot of them that don't ever want to get married.
She has 4 siblings. Why
Yeah.
wouldn't she want kids?
I'm sure some of my siblings probably won't want to have kids.
No, yeah. Sasha doesn't want any kids ever.
Well, Sasha's a special case.
No, she's not.
No,
Lots
she's
of,
very average.
You know,
And
lots
then-
of people that are, you know, don't like opposite sex have kids.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, a lot
Or
of
want
them,
to
and a
have
lot
them.
of, and a lot of them don't.
And then
Same with people that are not.
also, I think a lot of them want to be in open relationships and polyamorous relationships.
I don't agree with
I
that.
think same-sex people, there is 50-50. You know, the normalcy is probably 90-10.
Well, just like it doesn't matter if they're same sex or not. I mean, the people just they want to be a parent or they don't want to be a parent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something you should be able
Yeah,
to choose for
I
yourself.
think you guys think about it now, whereas when in our age group and before us, it was just something you were supposed to do.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying is that
Yeah.
I think your age group tended to do things you felt like you were supposed to do.
Yeah.
But
And I don't think
millennials,
your age group does so much.
but I think that maybe they'll start out doing things that they think they're supposed to do and be like, wait a second, what the heck
don't
am I
have
doing?
to do this.
Yeah.
Well, like when we were younger, and you know when Anna got pregnant,
Throwing me all under a bus.
She didn't do it by
I
herself.
didn't do it alone. It wasn't an immaculate conception either.
did I say it?
when Anna
Well,
got
Can
when
you
pregnant?
finish the
Anna
thought,
got
please?
pregnant,
Okay, I didn't get pregnant. I'm a boy.
I am a boy, Anna.
you act like it was from someone else.
I know.
No.
Like you weren't
Okay,
there.
that's how it works when a man and a woman
Oh gosh.
Okay,
Love
Kit,
each
what
other.
is the thing?
I feel uncomfortable.
Just
Go
say
ahead.
the thing.
I think the stigma, might not be the right word, but the thought of like, if your mate if got pregnant, then you automatically thought like, okay,
You have to
we're
marry
getting
them.
married.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm wondering, when did that stop? Like,
It stopped.
That's definitely not a thing anymore.
It's not a thing anymore.
I understand that, but it had to stop at some point.
I
Like,
think it stopped in the next generation after us
well, Chris is a perfect example.
Uh-oh,
I mean,
Chris.
did you feel pressure
to marrying
to-
those.
Did you feel pressured, Chris, to marry when Priscilla got pregnant?
No,
Why?
because there was no pressure.
No one pressure. You don't
My
feel like
granny did say, so do you guys plan on being married or whatever the case may be? And I'm like, well, first of all, Brian wasn't planned. Like, be perfectly honest, he was for sure an accident.
Yeah.
And that's that. So we're not about to just
throw away our lives.
not throw away our lives, but we're not going to get married to one another based on an accident.
Well, how long were you guys together when Priscilla got pregnant?
A little over a year.
Oh, that's quick.
It's a very short time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Again, it wasn't planned. It was
So in your life, your life, you didn't have that as part of your mentality or the people around you or the culture around you. Like when you get a woman pregnant, you get married or you move in together and you start taking care
well,
of the
they
child.
moved in together.
Not right away.
Not right away. No. No.
Well, how old was Brian before you guys moved in together?
Like 2. Yeah, like 2.
And at that point, you guys were like in a full-on relationship. You're 3 years in.
I mean, there's a couple of things that could have changed that. If financially, we probably would have moved in together immediately. You know, well, you probably don't know, but like people that grow up in real Mexican households, the daughters they're like still kids. It's weird.
And
It's
what-
weird. And
what
I've
do you
dated
mean?
No, they are.
I've dated multiple Mexican women.
They're babied.
It's all the same. I'm like, dude, how old are you?
They're treated like children.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
what you're trying to say.
so she it was weird, you know, because I had a lot of freedom when I was 15, and I had more freedom at 15 than she had at 20, and it was just different. So I mean, I think if we were both financially stable, she could have just walked away, and then we would have probably been better off. But you know, obviously she had that big accident that threw a little monkey
Yeah, the
wrench
car
in our
accident.
plans. So, I mean, there was a lot of different things that kind of just we weren't ready for.
But you didn't feel obligated to move
I did
in
not feel-
together
no.
because you had
But
Brian.
we wanted to.
You wanted to because you guys were still in that
Yes.
type of relationship. So it was like, yeah, well, let's move in together. It makes sense now.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like, okay, they're pregnant. We're getting married.
Even when we finally did move in together, we still weren't ready. Her dad had to help us, so it wasn't under ideal
Well, that was
circumstances. but
financially. I'm talking
Yeah.
about like mentally, like,
mentally, we wanted to.
yeah.
But see, for you, it was different. You know, you actually found a job where you could afford to move.
No, when we first got married, we did not live together, and we got married. He went to his mother's house. I went back to my mother's house.
Yeah, we didn't.
I do not remember
And
that.
you were a little kid.
We didn't move in together until Sophie.
Sasha.
Sasha was
Sophie,
Over
Sasha.
a year old.
almost a year old.
No, she was over a year old.
Around there.
It was
There's
she was over,
discrepancy.
Why get married? Then?
because
Why not
I
wait?
know it very well. I don't forget the story. It's indelibly imprinted on my brain. So she was over a year old, and before we lived together at all. And
So why
I
not
was
just wait to
pregnant
get
with her
married?
when we got married. Because
Was it out of obligation?
Yes.
I think that was
And-
back then when
I still feel like it was a stigma. I think we felt like I think we just felt like, oh well, I'm pregnant, I have to get married. But if I could have thought about
I don't
it-
think our parents pressured us to do it.
I don't know, because we didn't discuss it with them until after we decided that's what we were going to do. But he'd already given me, I don't know how long before that, he'd already given me an engagement ring. Like he had already asked me to marry him before I was ever pregnant. And so then I got pregnant. It's like, oh, well, we'll just do it now. It was like that. And so it wasn't like we had decided because I was pregnant, had already happened.
But it's not like we had a lot of training or parents that were telling us like, okay, you should date for 4 years and then,
Or you should wait until
financially
Are grown ups.
be financially stable where you can purchase a home and take care of your family, like you're supposed to.
And then so we lived with his mother for a while, and we lived with my parents for a while.
And we moved into an apartment, and then we moved into that first house.
You live and you learn, like the old saying.
Yeah. We're all just little kids trying to figure it out. Just trying things out.
I like him now, but like a lot. I love him. I don't want to live a day without him. I adore him. I adored him before I married him, but as soon as I married him, I did not want to be married to him anymore. Like it's like that night. The wedding was great. The reception was fun. And as soon as we got to our hotel room together and it was just the two of us, I was like, I got to get the fuck out of here. And that was how I
Why?
felt for the next year.
Why? Why that night? This the first night. That's supposed to be like the night of excitement. Like
It
wow,
was
we just
not
did
exciting. And so
She got a taste of boring married life.
no,
That. No, I'm only talking about the first night. Like,
Well, she was also pregnant.
it was none of those things. But anyway, so no, I wouldn't have at that moment if I could have turned around and say, "Could you just reverse what you did?" I would have done.
I'm
It's
really
called an
concerned with that
annulment.
day though. Like, what clicks in your mind that day? Like, what threw you
But
off?
it's scary when you're 19 years old making
Yeah.
such a huge commitment.
It was making the commitment, and it was like the lack of interest of his family really bothered me a lot.
You
like,
guys were kids.
his father wasn't there. Like
You guys were
I still
kids.
hadn't met him, even though we had dated for 5 years, and then he didn't come to the wedding, and his family was just kind of, they didn't pay for anything, and he barely cared about anything that was happening with the wedding. And the closer it got, and then we got there, it was like, oh, I see, he's just really not interested. And he didn't seem interested in me at all that day. Like, it was like we were
I've
there.
never been married, but
and he
I
was-
can imagine it being very stressful.
It was very stressful.
leading up to that day.
It was very, very stressful. It was all stressful. And so
You guys should have another wedding so that you
No.
can have a do-over.
No,
I don't believe in that.
that's the kiss of death.
It is. You get remarried and then you get divorced.
Not
right
remarried.
after
I'm
that.
saying like just like have another
renewing the vows.
ceremony.
Renewing the vows
No.
ruins relationships. When you renew your vows, it means that your relationship is over. So
No.
if you ever get to a point where you
Damn.
want to, if you get to a point if you're married to someone and you've been married for a long time, you're like, we need to renew our vows. That means you're about to get divorced.
I
Why
agree
would
with
you
you.
say that?
Yeah, I agree
It
with that
happens
too.
all the
because
time.
it's like a one last hurrah.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
like
Let's see
people-
if this will fix it.
It's like people who have a baby because they are having
Save
trouble in their
relationship,
relationship.
baby.
If you have a baby, it does not save a relationship. It speeds up the demise of your relationship.
Because
And
having a
so-
baby is hard.
It's hard. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of time, and it's a lot of your, like, all of your extra time goes into the baby. You don't have time for each other.
And having
so-
a baby is not sexy.
It's not.
It's not sexy.
Well, yeah. So we'll never renew our vows or have
No.
another ceremony. But
Or have another kid.
if somebody
Yes,
wants to
none of
throw
those
us,
things.
if somebody wants to throw us a kick-ass anniversary party, like our adult children,
No, I don't want that either.
Not made of money. Unfortunately.
After they're made of money, because they're all about to graduate.
Once
from
I'm made of
college.
money.
I
What's their class?
from what you guys are talking about, I think it's all circumstance. You guys would be doing it just to like redo 27 years ago, opposed to like,
The
we
wedding
had a
was-
really bad fallout, so let's renew our vows to like rekindle this thing. It's totally different.
The wedding was very nice.
It was very nice. I was there. Sorry, you
You
missed it,
remember
Zoe.
that you were 8.
Zoe, chill.
It
I
was a good
there.
time.
It was
We
a
had
good
a
time.
fun.
And see, it's another thing. Your kids weren't even there to experience it.
Sasha was there.
Was she?
She probably felt it.
on the inside.
Inside.
Sasha wasn't there. She didn't just see nothing. So
Okay.
now you're doing it so everybody can see.
But what I think is funny about the fact that
But there's
we're, like-
video.
yeah, there's video, and it was a lot of. I think they played
not
that
HD, Zoe.
that jump around song like 2 or 3 times, and every time they played it, you and Patrick and Lance were just jumping around like idiots. It was so funny.
Well, damn.
It was so cute and so funny.
Like all little kids.
And your little tuxedos jumping around, and then all the adults like Uncle Joe and Aunt Alice were jumping around too. It was funny.
That's funny that you're talking about the wedding. Last time I was with Jermaine, he was like, "Man, I was the worst best man ever." And
'Cause
I'm
he was a
like, "What are you
kid."
talking about?
Yeah, like 20 years old.
He's like, "Well, I didn't give you a bachelor party.
Yeah.
We didn't like go,
Exactly. You
like,
don't
go do stuff.
you don't really know what's supposed to happen. So
Yeah.
again, when people do those renewals, they're doing it because their relationship
If he
failed
has
and they're
but
trying,
if
if
he
they're
there's a
trying to
bachelor
rekindle
party
something.
right now, I don't think I would be marrying him again.
No, but I'm saying, do those rituals really matter?
No.
Because that's the real question. Like, do you care that you didn't have a bachelor party
No.
27 years
I
ago?
don't. Well, it goes to the bigger picture of like if you don't know what's a thing,
It doesn't matter.
then like I don't think neither one of our parents had a big wedding.
Mm-hmm.
They had very small weddings where it was just like a few people. I don't even remember seeing photos of my parents' wedding.
I haven't seen photos of your parents' wedding. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Were you there?
I wasn't there.
I don't remember seeing. They were probably.
My parents got married by the justice of the peace, and so yes, it was very small.
Yeah, so for us, I mean, other than Ken's wedding, it was probably the only other wedding that I had been to.
Yeah. So we've been together forever and ever and ever and ever, and I was very happy then. And I'm very happy now, but in the middle, it sucked.
Again, that's the reason to just do it over.
Oh no,
No,
You guys
good.
suck.
I mean, but if somebody wants to throw us a party,
yeah, we'll have a really good time when you get married to your forever lady.
Whenever that happens.
Yeah.
I'll wear a white dress if you want me to. But I don't really look good in white, so maybe I won't. But
when you get married, I'll wear a white tux
Lord
okay.
have mercy.
with a white shirt and a white bow tie.
Clean.
Mr. Clean. No, gross. Please don't do that.
What?
That
And
sounds
tails?
nice.
And tails?
It sounds like if you saw this big white dude in an all white suit with tails walk into your wedding, everybody would be frightened. It's like, what is up?
I'm visualizing
Like
it right
everybody,
now.
maybe we need to leave. I don't know.
That sounds awesome, actually.
Everybody would think that I was the talent. Like, I'm going to perform.
Yeah.
I endorse that idea.
Okay, here's the real question, Chris. When you meet your forever lady, are you gonna have more kids?
We was just telling your mom
Yeah.
about that. I'm terrified of that.
He doesn't want any more
And
kids.
it's always girls that your age or younger that want me. I need some gray hairs.
Where are you? What kind of circles are you
He's
in?
hanging out in
anywhere.
playgrounds.
Yeah, why are you hanging out with young ladies?
Yeah.
I don't know they're that age until like it's too late.
You know, you look young.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
and
They think I'm their age.
a lot of women my age like older guys. What can I say?
Ew.
You saying ill, but look at your mom and your dad.
Yeah, but ew, I don't want that. Ew. If
Ew.
for whatever reason Frank and I weren't together, I would want a nice young buck.
No, young guys don't know anything. They're dumb.
It's fine.
They
I don't need him to be smart.
they don't have a career
Oh,
or a car.
Jesus, Zoe.
He has to have a car though. But
Yeah, the young buck's going to have a car and a career and pay for you.
he doesn't have to have a career.
I know exactly. Like what?
I'm never getting married again.
There's still time.
It's just one. No, there's not.
And see, that's how I want. I want it to be like a one-time deal,
Just the once is enough.
and it scares me that I don't have a crystal ball.
No one does. I want to be with him forever, for eternity. So hopefully this is it, and it is eternity. But
I like how she says, hopefully.
Frank, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. My mother
Well-
thought she was going to be married to my father for eternity, but he's been dead for 20 years. So,
But
We're
the
not talking
thing,
about Frank dying. We're just
Yeah,
talking
we're
or
about
me
you guys.
dying. I don't know. Anything
We're not
can
talking about
happen.
anybody dying. We're just talking about.
Or one day he could just be like, just get on my nerves so much. I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm done.
That's what we're talking about.
it's possible, but
I doubt it.
I
though.
think after so long with each other, you're just so comfortable with each other that you feel like there's no way you could live without the other person.
Well, I feel like that. I don't know how your father is, but I know I don't want anybody else. So, is
This
that
actually opens the door for a question that I've always wanted to ask you. You said you identify more with Black culture. Are you more attracted to white men?
Why is this a question?
It's? I guess it's a question for a lot of people.
I'm sure there's
It's
a lot
always
of
a
your
question
friends- I'm
for
sure there's a
people.
lot of people that are curious about that.
Who?
I think what he's trying to say
Am
is,
I
like,
famous?
Want to know?
were you attracted to Jeff because of Jeff, or like his not being white, but like his appearance? Was it something you were looking for? Or were you attracted to his personality? And he just happened to be white, or
He happened to be white, and also I would say I prefer white guys. It's just a preference.
I was asking which
Yeah.
her preference was.
So I know that if I do get married later on, it will be a white guy.
You know that.
Yeah.
well,
Okay.
that's what she's
No,
attracted
it's her preference. This is
Yeah.
what she's into.
to. Like I would never marry a white woman.
I guess we're gonna have
I mean, I don't want to say that. I mean, if Angelina Jolie wanted to marry me, I would not be opposed to
But
that.
the thing is that it's a weird psychological thing for me because I'm not attracted to black guys because I feel like they're my family. It's like
That is
it's
a
like
weird
being
thing.
attracted to my family.
Okay.
That is a weird thing.
I don't. It's a weird thing.
That is kind of strange.
I'm like, I don't want to date
I've
someone
heard that
who's
one
like
before.
my family.
Probably not uncommon. Like
You
there's
think
probably
so?
women that
Not the whole race.
well, like
Well, it's just
That is
that.
very uncommon.
Yeah, that's
I don't know.
I have not heard that one before. You got me, Zoe. You have like put my mind in a whole nother place. 'Cause
Well,
I've never heard
I
that.
have this coworker who's a black guy, and he said he was surprised to find out that Jeff was not black because it's me, and well,
I don't know.
I don't know either.
well, I think it's because Zoe
Because
has
of how
the
I
body
look.
type, a body type that black men would be attracted to.
yeah,
Oh, okay. Is that what you meant?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, that makes sense.
So I'm like, well, why? I'm like, well, and I told him what I just said, and he's like, okay. I feel more comfortable around black guys, and like not in a I want to be with you kind of way.
That's interesting. Okay,
They're all in the friend zone.
that is very interesting.
That is different. Yeah. I thought. See, I too am I'm mostly just attracted to people that are fairer skin. I like Latinos and I like white guys, and that's what I like. It's what I'm attracted to, and it's because I'm attracted to them, the things that their attributes, and not because I feel like I'm related to. I would be like they're my relatives.
Well, it's part of it.
It's so I don't know. It just is what it is. I think people are attracted to who they're attracted to. Like I like also tall men, not short. It's my preference, and I like.
Yeah, I inherited your preferences.
Jesus, Frank, you were everything Anna wanted.
I bet you there's a name for that.
Frank's looking for weird names. I'm attracted to guys that are thin.
Oh,
I
Frank
like
used to be thin.
I like thin, like skinny, not I don't like muscle.
Yeah, I don't like
guys.
muscly guys either,
I don't like
and
muscly guys.
I tend to prefer blonde hair, blue eyed guys.
I don't like them that white, but not usually. But
And it's like that's a little too white.
That's a little too far for her.
it's too far. It's too extreme.
So wait. This is an interesting thing about you and Zoe. You identify more with the black culture,
Yeah.
but you guys are both more attracted to white men, and
It
you
just
were offended to find out that you had white in you because of
Yes.
history,
Uh-huh.
but yet you are still attracted to them.
It's not a choice.
It's not a choice. That's why, like, when people say, "Oh, they're choosing to be gay," I'm like, there is no choice in any of what I'm attracted to. Exactly. I'm not choosing it. It just is. It always has been that way. When I saw the first white boy that I ever met was in first grade, and I was like, "That's it. That's what I want."
Gosh.
That one.
First grade.
First grade. I was like, now I
Jesus,
like
lady.
boys. Woo! Look at him.
That's early.
Well, any girls that like boys in first grade.
I
That's
love.
very
I've
strange.
always liked boys, and I always
Maya
knew
better
I'm
not like nothing.
super straight. I've always liked boys from as far back as I can remember. So it's not a preference; it just is a thing. And I didn't like wake up one day. I'm like, you know what? If I could only be with this is what I want.
Yeah, exactly. It's like kind of like those guys who are only attracted to really obese women.
Yeah, it's like, why? You just are.
Yeah.
Or people who are only into, like, I knew this lady who married, I think she married a couple guys named Ken, and she only dated guys named Ken. It was a name. It wasn't even.
That's weird.
That was
That
weird.
is very weird.
And so it's like, people just have preferences. I don't think it's a choice what you're into. You just are. What are you attracted to, Chris? What do you think is
Everyone.
just anybody? Just as long as as long as they're
As long as
female.
they have a pulse.
Because I talked about this with Lance.
Honestly, there's not. I mean, it's hard for me to be attracted to like a white woman or an Asian woman, but like black and Hispanic mainly
Are your choice?
are my preferences. But very rarely will I run into like a white person or an Asian person that I'm like, oh, she's very attractive. And in Asian, it's more of like Filipino or Cambodian, something that's like
brown.
Yeah, and some of them they're more inclined to have like shape to them. But very rarely again. It's very rare, and white people are very rare.
So did you make this as a conscious choice one day?
No, like you said, it's
Yeah,
just
it's
kind of
just
like
this.
you know.
And so, do you have a certain body type that you like over other body types?
Yeah.
So you didn't choose one. You didn't say one day to yourself, "Hey, you know, I'm only gonna go for big old boobs, and that's it."
I don't think anybody says
No one says
Nobody
it. You
says
just
that.
are.
No
you
one
just,
says that to themselves.
You just
when-
are
You don't just
attracted
say
to.
self.
Guess what?
You know what my choice is today?
Because that's.
Big
I think a
booties.
lot of people, when you see couples together, you're like, "Oh, how did they end up together?"
Because if they don't match.
Yeah, or why are you into that? Or like you hate your race because you're with somebody who's not of your race or something like that. It's like, this was not something I decided one day. I wrote down in my diary, "Dear diary, today I decided I'm only going for light complected men. I only want them to look like this, and that's
Because we all
it."
have diaries.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And
Especially Chris.
I've caught myself in deep thought thinking like, why does this appeal to me?
Yeah.
It's like there's no reason that it should, but it just it just that's just what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I'd also like to know that about myself, but it's not like I want to not be attracted to certain people. I just am not.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because I think that a lot of people are hard on other people. Like Kim Kardashian, for instance. When she first started dating, when she first came out as a thing, they were like, why is she with all these black guys and all this stuff about her being, and jokes about her being with black people because they're not in her race. I'm like, oh, why do you care who she's sleeping with? Why do you care about who she dates?
Because it's very
what
interesting.
difference does it matter?
For when you're something and you go for something completely different. Like her and Chloe have been on I think it was Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel, one of those shows, and they made it clear like, oh yeah, we only date black guys.
Because that's what they're attracted to.
That's
it's
an
just
interesting statement.
well, because they know what they are looking for. It's like they're after a certain
I'm open to
choice.
anything.
Yeah, you're open. You're open. But if you had a preference, you would pick. You said Latina, or Latinx, or whatever they are now.
No.
Latinx.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying coincidentally,
it's almost always that.
That's just the main two that mostly appeal to me. Mm-hmm. That's just how it is.
Well, I find it interesting that a lot of women that are in the public eye that have, like the big booty and all that, like Kim Kardashian, and there's this model called Iskra. I don't know if you know her.
I don't know that.
But they are all with black men because I know that they tend to prefer that body type.
Yeah.
But I wonder if that's what the woman preferred as well.
What do you mean? They prefer? Well, maybe they're.
He's always talking about these women that are like getting all this work done.
Well, I think they're probably getting the work done because you want to look like what you think is going to attract men. Like what's going to.
But are you trying to attract men, or are you trying to specifically
Like a
attract
specific
black men?
type
certain
of
men?
man.
Yeah. I think they're probably trying to look like what they think those guys are.
Well,
looking
it's like
for.
my coworker who says, "I'm surprised that you're with a white guy." I'm like, I didn't make myself.
I didn't put this butt on. It was I was given this butt.
It's like I didn't do this so I could attract a black guy.
Nice.
I just woke up one day
It just
as a
happened.
baby, and then I grew up like this.
Yeah,
It
so,
happens.
Yeah, like so it's like when people say that, like, make fun of or question someone's preference and who they are with. Why do people feel like it's their business at all?
It's
like
not.
who they date, who they marry, who they sleep with. Why do people care?
Because they're famous.
Even if you're not famous, like, well, those people are like that and they shouldn't be with those people. You see people walking down the street and you're like, why are they together?
It's because
How did this
people
happen?
like to judge so they don't have to think about their dumb lives.
Uh-huh.
They hate their lives so much they want to judge other people. End of story.
I guess. I feel like it's not your business. And like, it brings me to like I said, gay people. People judge them for who they sleep with. Why do you care? Why does it matter? What is it doing to you?
It's doing nothing to them. They just want to be mad.
Just want to be mad. So, what do you think, Frank?
About which?
About gay people?
I don't care what gay people do. I don't care what anybody does. People could be attracted to whoever they want. It doesn't matter. And if someone prefers a specific type of person, that's just what they're attracted to. And some people hyper focus on that. Some people are just like, some people are just looking for someone to love them. It doesn't matter who they are or like what race or what sex they are. Some people are looking for a very specific niche person. And if everything else falls in with that specific person, that, you know, I'm sure there's something in their life where they were like, they liked that person or a person like that in their life, and they felt comfortable and sexually attracted to that person, that are probably always looking to fill that hole.
No. So all of this is because of that one boy. And I was like, he is super cute. And then ever since then, I'm like, I'm just trying to fill that gap.
Why were you attracted to boys in first grade?
I've always been attracted to boys. Always.
What?
That's crazy.
Well, the thing
I can't remember a time before I was not attracted.
I really hope mine's not attracted to anybody.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
Yeah, how are you going to
do
prevent
Nothing
that?
I can do about it is just, I can't imagine her at this state of mind, like thinking somebody's attractive.
No, I'm sure she will when she's older.
Because she's, yeah, I mean, of course. But
Yeah,
right
there's a
now,
special
she's
case.
such a baby.
I was not attracted to anyone when I was in first grade. Hey, tell me if you agree with this, Chris.
Uh-oh.
So, do you think that a single dad is more likely to get dates than a single mom?
Yes.
I think yes, too.
Yes.
Why?
Perception. We look at moms with baggage, and we look at the men like, well, he's free.
Well,
Yeah.
and fertile.
Free and fertile.
Free and fertile. F and F.
Put on a t-shirt. Free and fertile.
No. That is sick.
Hashtag free and fertile.
That is sick. No.
Do you think that would work? Do you think if you're like a hot guy wearing a t-shirt that said free and fertile, you would get like just women like, oh, he's free and fertile?
That's
Or would they be
exactly
like-
what women want.
like,
Those are
ew,
prerequisites right there.
Nasty.
That's all you need.
Is that all you need?
Free and fertile, that's all I want.
Gosh.
I can't wear that shirt. I am not fertile by choice. Man.
Well, I think that people tend to think a single mom is always with her kids.
Yes.
And she, has no free time. A single dad might see them sometimes on the weekends.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because
Yeah.
that's what's up. That's what happens.
Yeah.
And that's not fair.
But what about dads who are really involved?
But you don't know until you start dating them, and then you find it attractive.
No, that's you see them involved, and that's what you're attracted to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Women are attracted to dads who are really involved.
Yeah, women think, oh, that's hot. He loves his kids. Whereas I think men might think, oh, she has all these kids with her all the time. There's no room for me.
Yeah, well, men experience jealousy. They're like, oh, she paid attention more to the kids than me.
Yeah, that's
Wait, so you're saying that the women wouldn't get jealous that the father's spending too much time with his own kids? Women way more
you're
jealous.
right.
Like, okay, we're dating and hey, let's go out on Friday. Well, my children are going to be with me. We're spending time together and all that. Well, why you spend so much time with them? I'm not important to you.
Why is he dating that woman?
Okay. Yes, I agree with
women
you. That's
you have
true. But I think
Yeah.
it will be a lure that the guy loves his kids, but then you date them, they don't like it.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
what I'm saying.
I think,
Kids too
it's really
much.
attractive that he spends time with his kids, but then dating them, you're like, nah, I don't like it. It brought me here, but it doesn't keep me.
If he doesn't shut his kids down.
Yeah. Can you get them
For me.
Them less.
Yeah. Can you take them to their mother's house? Doesn't she want to see them?
Why doesn't their mother love them?
Gosh. Jeez.
No?
I don't know. Maybe. I've never been in that situation, so I don't know.
What would you say
What would I say?
if you were in a relationship with a man and he had kids?
I would not want to be in one. Because
You already have
Because
enough.
of baggage.
I have enough kids of my own.
She has enough of those.
I don't want to raise anybody else's kids.
Well,
I have my own to raise.
What
I
if,
don't.
what if they're
looking for?
adults?
If everybody's an adult, then I want a guy who does not want children and does not have any, or his kids are adults and he doesn't see them except for like at Christmas.
Yeah, I have
what?
this. I have this friend who.
So you're that woman.
Yes.
What the hell?
Okay, one of my friends, she's 29, and she is dating a 52-year-old man, and
I'm doomed. This is why I need to hurry and get married. I'm doomed. That's gonna be me.
Well, here's the thing: is that
That's gonna be me.
the boyfriend he's been married before and he has adult children, and she wants to have kids with him.
Wasn't I just saying that? What was I saying that the other day? Oh, like if for some reason I was by myself and for
some reason I was by myself. I
Like-
unfortunately was on a yachting accident and fell overboard.
Yachting?
if
When
I
are you
was in a
doing that?
relation, you asked me this question, and you said if I was in a relationship with a younger woman, there's no way she wouldn't want her own kids.
Yeah, there's no way.
I don't want you to have more kids and ruin my children's lives.
Especially
Why would that ruin your children's
Because
lives?
this chick will be like, "Oh, what about our kids?" It's like evil stepmothers.
Their
what?
kids are grown.
Our kids are your kids are adults.
Frank and Sophie are children.
They don't care.
Anyway, this
They
guy.
don't care.
All right, back to what
Okay,
Zoe
but
was
this
saying.
guy's a grandpa, right?
Ugh.
And I'm like, well, first of all, he's too
Oh,
old
he's
to
a
have
grandpa.
kids. Yeah.
No, he's not too old to have
He's
kids.
not-
That's the
Well,
scary
I mean,
part.
he can have kids.
Yes,
it's
he can have
possible,
kids.
but he's very old.
Yeah.
And first of all, he already did that. He already did the marriage and the kids thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do people really want to do that again?
Some people do. I just don't want to.
Too Short just had a baby. That dude's like 52 or 53 or something.
Did
like
he
that.
have a baby with a very young woman?
I think so.
Is the baby too short?
Yeah, didn't Alec Baldwin just have another baby?
He has like a bunch of tiny little kids.
Yikes.
that
And-
dude is like 60.
And
Yeah,
Robert De
he's
Niro
He's
too.
really
didn't he?
old.
No. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I know his wife
But the
left
thing
him.
is
But I don't
that
know if he has other kids.
Robert De Niro's getting divorced right
yeah. Maybe that's why they're divorcing.
now. Ooh, it could be.
Oh.
The young woman, the young girlfriend that's dating an older guy almost always wants to have kids.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess what I
And
was
you know,
telling
it's
your mom.
weird is that I keep saying ill, but he's not that much older than me. But I think when you put the 29 beside it, it seems.
Yeah, it's a huge age gap.
Because I can't imagine, although I would like a younger man if Frank was in an unfortunate yachting accident.
Yeah, all this yachting we do.
I wouldn't want anybody who's younger.
That shouldn't be funny. I'm sorry, Frank.
I wouldn't want anyone who's younger than my oldest child. So, no one.
It's different for men and women. It's the man is usually older.
Yeah, but I don't want any. I would want somebody young, but not one. If he's younger than Sasha, I think it's super gross.
Now J-Lo is 50.
Like I'm
I
dating
would
somebody's child.
definitely
That's
date
super
her.
weird. That's super weird.
J-Lo looks really good.
Alec Baldwin has a 1-year-old child.
Ugh,
And how old is he? Late 50s?
He's got to
probably
be in
like
his 60s.
60 years old, probably.
I always get mixed up with the brothers. So
Oh,
well,
he's one of the older ones.
I'm not
so.
sure which one we're talking about.
He's the most well-known one. The other ones are
Oh,
like okay, whatever.
He's 61.
He,
His wife is 35.
I can't even.
I can't even imagine being with someone who's that old.
He has a movie about that. If you said it, it would.
I
definitely
know,
ring a
I
bell.
know, I know.
Life imitates art.
There you go. Life imitating art.
No, that's not the name
Art
of it.
imitating life. No,
That's
not the
not the name of
movie. What was happening?
Oh,
He
okay.
was.
Art
he was
imitates life. No, it's life imitates art.
life imitating art. So he was dating. I mean, he's made a movie about something that's very close to what he's living.
Well, this movie is like
It was
15
bound to
years old or
happen
something
because
like
they
that.
all do it.
That's
all
why
do
they
it.
all do
That
it.
it happens later. It's like that's why it's life imitating
I don't want
art.
that to happen to me.
Okay, well, we already discovered
We'll get married
that
faster.
I don't want to have a divorce either. I'm in this weird dilemma.
Well, you got to meet someone who is also your age because people in their
All the people that
people
want to
in
meet
their-
me are like your age.
Now you can find an age appropriate woman.
That's what I'm looking for, Zoe.
Yeah, because
not working out.
women in their 30s, especially their mid 30s, they're ready to settle down.
And have kids because
Yeah.
they're about to be
It
too
seems
old
like
to
women
have
your
kids.
age want that too.
They don't know what they want.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Like
Bless you.
Sebastian needs.
God bless you.
Sebastian needs a sibling.
Excuse me.
You're gonna be like,
Well, if he has panties on, he's not naked.